In less than 2 years, I went from being an entry-level data analyst to being a group leader in charge of a whole team. If you're looking to move up in data analytics and get a promotion just like I did, I'm going to give you the 3 things that helped me get to my position. What's going on, guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. Now, I know not everyone is interested in moving up in a role in their jobs, but for those of you that are interested in getting a promotion and moving on in your career as a data analyst, I think some of the things that I'll talk about today will be very beneficial. Now, this isn't going to be a guarantee, one fix, fixes everything type thing. I think these are just some good pieces of advice that I think could apply to almost everyone and things that almost anyone can do. Obviously, there was a little bit of luck involved when it comes to getting a entry-level position to all the way to a managed position. And the time I did, there was just the right opportunity, the right timing. There's a lot of factors that we can't control that also helped me get to where I get to. But today we're going to focus on the things that I think that because of what I did in these areas, I think directly gave me an extra boost into how I got this position. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about, and I think this honestly is the most important part, and I think this is what really made me stand out against other peers, was that as soon as I came in as an entry-level analyst, I decided that I was going to find some mentors in my group and even beyond my group. Now, what I mean by that is I had an interest in moving into management almost right away because I had management experience in my past career, and so I knew for me right away that was the career path that I was going to go into. So what I did was early on was that I got in connection with my group leader and my group leader's boss, and I asked them if I can meet with them regularly. So at first it was just kind of a once a quarterly type thing for the first couple months, and then after about the first 6 months, once I got a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more knowledgeable in the work, I felt like I could actually bring more to the conversations and be able to have better discussions. So then we started meeting about once a month. The real focus on that was to develop myself as an analyst in my current role and then the next level. But then also one of the things that I did was I specifically asked for leadership development. I asked for management development, little things that they could show me that weren't necessarily very technical based, even if some of them were technical based, like things with our systems and things, when it came to, interviewing and hiring, just pieces of information. Honestly, it was mostly just about how can I take the next step and what are the expectations, and if they had any resources, if they had any knowledge that they could give me. That basically is what our sessions were about. Now, the reason why I think that was so helpful was because when it came time for me to interview for the promotion, I think one of the things that made it so easy for me in that interview was that I already had a certain level of comfort with the people that I was getting interviewed by. I already had discussions about some theoretical conversations we had were about character, about leadership, about work standards, about drive. So we had already had a lot of conversations that when you go into a interview, where you don't know the people, you're not really sure what they're looking for. You're not really sure what the expectations are. And because I had that level of comfort, I think that really helped me keep my nerves down. I think I was able to speak more confidently and to be able to answer the questions more directly because I knew the direction that they were looking for. I think that honestly was one of the big reasons that made me stand out, was that I had the confidence. And that's something that I've talked about on my channel before, where when you're transitioning into a new career and you're starting a new career, when you don't have the same level of expertise or skill and you're competing against other people, it didn't really matter to me because I felt confident with the people and the conversations that I had with them, that I really went into that interview and I feel like I blew it out of the water. And I think honestly that's one of the biggest things that can get you a job, is if you just have an outstanding interview where you're breathing with confidence, you're answering their questions directly, and you're actually giving them the answers that they're looking for. I think that goes a long way. Now, the second thing that I want to talk to you guys about, and I think this is kind of a thing that a lot of people might be scared to do at first, but if you get the opportunity, and I did a couple of times before I actually got this promotion, was that I applied for open positions. Now, what I mean by that was up until the position that I got, it had actually opened up a couple of times. So there was a couple opportunities. Even I think the first opportunity I had was about 4 months into me starting as a data analyst. So obviously I was not qualified whatsoever, and there was no reason to go after it. But one of the things that one of my mentors advised me was, even though you don't think you're qualified, even though you don't think it's going to work out, why not go and just see what the process is about? Any information that you can build on, whether it's finding out what the interview questions are, finding out what the expectations are. That way, it's just, even if it doesn't work out for you, there's a lesson that can be learned and something that you can build upon. So the first time I interviewed for a group leader position, it was more just having that initial conversation. They came back to me and said, okay, we have people that we already have that are more qualified and more lined up, but we love that you're interested in, and these are the things that we think that you can focus on the next time an opportunity comes. And then next time I actually had the opportunity to apply for a group leader position was actually just a couple months right before I actually got the position. One of the nice things about it was that I was able to go through the entire interview process. And so even though I kind of had a gut feeling that they were going to go in a different direction, but I still wanted to put myself out there, being actually being able to have an opportunity to go through the interview process made it that much more easier when the actual interview came for the promotion I got. Was I already had a understanding of, okay, I know what questions they're going to ask, I know in which order it's going to be, I have an idea of what they're looking for based off of their feedback from the first interview. It's all about having the mindset of, even if opportunities don't work out, it's another way to prepare. It's a way to prep. And I think the more prep you do, that just builds confidence, that just builds, more efficiency in your answers. And I think that's one thing that you can't really teach. That's just something you just have to go through. And even though you are quote unquote failing and you're not getting the promotion, or whatever, how you want to look at it in a negative light, I think the best way to go about it is you just have to do it. And I think the more that you do it, the more comfortable you get with it, and the more that you learn from those experiences. And I think that will just only help you pay off until the opportunity actually comes your way. And lastly, I think the thing that, maybe some of these other ones can't really apply to, because there is a certain level of, there needs to be opportunity. You have to have people that are willing to be mentors. You have to have opportunities that you can go out for and apply for. Those might not always be there. But I think one of the things that anyone can always do is build an understanding of your role. And once you have that understanding, find ways that you can expand outside of your role that will benefit your role. And what I mean by that is, one of the things that I tried to do early on was try to be involved with the people that were making decisions and find if there was little ways that I can give them support, whether it was bringing ideas for process improvements, or if they needed someone to collaborate with people from other departments. I was always willing to be able to be that person to reach out and communicate, be a sounding board, because even if I wasn't in the decision-making process, just being involved with those communications, those connections, and being a part of those conversations and initiatives show that you are asserting yourself in a way that could eventually lead to a leadership position. And I think another easy way to go about this as well is to be a part of some type of training or mentorship program. As early on, as soon as you get a skill that you've developed that can be trainable, why not reach out to people that are in the training environment or part of the mentorship program and just see like, hey, can I be useful in any way? And you might not be initially, but just like, again, it's all about putting yourself out there, where it's like, okay, if they come across an opportunity, they're like, you know what, maybe this can be something that this person can handle. You've already talked to them about it. You already asserted the fact that you are interested in that. And that little thought in their head will make them go, hey, maybe I can give them a little opportunity. And along with that, don't just look out opportunities, track the opportunities that you're going after and the opportunities that you're able to bring outside of your role into your role. Because then when it comes down for evaluation times, or when it comes down times for promotion, stuff like that, you have examples that you can go right to, that you can pull from, and that's something that goes a long way in an interview process. All you can do is control what's right in front of you. So always look for ways to improve, find ways to learn. I think one of the things that you got to take advantage of is always, and especially in data analytics, where there's so many evolving things and things are constantly changing, is you have to be willing to learn and demonstrate that you're willing to learn, and you're also willing to teach. Because I think the more you collaborate with people, the more that it's going to be necessary for you to learn and to teach each other. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you guys have any other questions, like direct questions about, particulars about how I went through the process of getting promotion, if you guys are looking for any advice when it comes to resumes, when it comes to the interview process, please feel free to reach out to me, leave comments down below, and thank you guys again. Hope you guys have a good one.